Hi everybody, now I'm recording this video on the 7th of February 2023, so update 1.20 is not live on community servers for Xbox, PlayStation and PC, but I'm giving you access to these files early so that you can get prepped for the update whenever it drops. Also, so you can check them for errors, because I have been known to leave the odd error in these files too. But also, if you run a local experimental server in your PC, you could check these out as well. So what have we got? What have I put together? Well, as usual, every update, I've updated my Chernarus boosted loot complete vehicle server files. And if you're new to these are an incredibly easy way to make your Chernarus DayZ server for PC, Xbox or PlayStation quite a bit easier for your players. So specifically for newer players or players who want a more of an adventure type of DayZ rather than hardcore survival or vanilla DayZ, these work very well for that, and they're very, very easy to install, which I think is a major thing, because when you're new to modding for PC or console, often with XML, even with XML files, it can be a bit confusing. But it's all done for you. You put these on and the players on your server will be like, oh wow, this is really cool. Honestly, they will, because I've been using a variation on these files for a long time, and people really like them, and I like them too. So to get to them, all you need to do is in the description below this video, you'll find a link to my GitHub repository, where you'll also find like the Livonia files and things like that. And you click on this code button, you click on download zip. You extract that on your local PC, and then you can upload them over the top of your existing server files when update 1.20 has gone live and you've updated your server to the latest 1.2 files. Okay, so we'll talk about that in a second. So what do you get? If you're new to these files, what do you get? Well, what you get is, starting at the top, there's an event truck that spawns up at the top of the ski resort, that's got like party stuff in, like fireworks and things like that, and fuel in the back, so you can just take the fuel out and drive what you want. There's one of them in Novi Sabor, I'm going to say, or is it Stary Sabor? The one in the east one. There's a trader truck that spawns outside of the shop, and that's got loads of weapons in. There's only one of those that spawn in. Okay. And I've edited the CFG gameplay, so it should give you, I think it gives you build anywhere. I tell you what, I'm going to check that right now, because I can't remember whether I've done that or not. Let's have a look. Edit with Notepad++. Scroll down. Yeah, you got build anywhere as well. So it's got build anywhere. And also, if you pick up, on console, if you pick up a tourist map, it will show you where you are on the tourist map. If you're on PC, all you have to do is hit M, even if you haven't got a tourist map, and the map will appear and it will show you where you are on the map as well, which is pretty good. Vehicles spawning complete with wheels and tyres, as do trucks, as does the Humvee as well. And when you find an ordinary truck, it has lots of building stuff in the back, so you can get the fuel out the back, fuel it up, jump in, drive off, and build a base somewhere without having to run around and find loads of saws and hammers and all that sort of stuff. The cars all spawn in complete. I mean, you have to take the fuel out of the back, fuel it up, go and find some water, fill up the radiator. Okay, but then they've also got in, depending which car you found, some of them have got M4s in the back, some have got VSSs, Asphals, Dragonovs, some of them have got fishing equipment, some have got hunting equipment, some have got farming equipment. You know, whatever you find, they'll be there. I've increased the number of dynamic loot event weapons. So this is things like the FAL, the LAR, the ASFAL, the VSD. You know, the really cool weapons, including their mags. And what I've also done is I've increased the number of helicopter crashes where you find these things, but taken away things like the ghillie suits mostly. So you won't go to a helicopter crash, hopefully, and just find a ghillie wrap for a gun and being, oh, that was a bit of a waste of time. They're in normal military locations. There's more quality of life stuff, duct tape, sterilising agents, more NBC stuff and gas masks, so you can go and visit the toxic zones, more axes, more knives, more of the guns. Magazines spawn in with ammo in them. There's more of the mags as well. Guns should spawn in with magazines in them. Almost everything should spawn in pristine. There's probably a few things I've missed, but so things last longer that way. If a weapon is meant to have a suppressor, a proper suppressor, not an improvised one, it will probably spawn in with that. If it's meant to have a scope, or it can have a scope, it will probably spawn in with a scope as well. You get all the coloured variants of the guns, so you get like the camo Mosin and the black M4 and the black and the green AK, all that sort of stuff. You also get more military bags, more vests, more night vision goggles, more medical supplies, and there's some little extras as well, like the swords, the pumpkin helmets, weed, alcohol, cigarettes. You can't use these things, but they're there. The defibrillator and the Easter eggs. So the Easter eggs don't work either. And the messages file, I think, has an 8-hour server countdown. So how do you use these files? Well, if you're familiar with it, just go to GitHub, grab them, and then when 1.2 goes live, use them then. Not yet, unless 1.2 lives now. But if you want to install them, basically what you do is you go over to your server. This is a Nitrado server. And the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you've had the message that your server has been updated to 1.20. Now, when that happens, it doesn't mean your XML files have been updated. It just means the back end, the DayZ server.exe has been updated. So generally, we still need to update the XMLs. And the way that you do that on a console server is you find the bit that I can't find. Here we go, reset mission XML to default. You tick that, you save, you restart the server, and all the XMLs and JSONs will be turned to default. Now remember, that means it will delete all your edited ones, so you want to have downloaded and saved them separately. But when you've done, when you've reset the mission XML to default, go into the file browser, look for your types.xml file, open it up and just check and search to see if you've got the new masks. So there's the mine masks and there's the party mask. If you've got them, you know you've got the latest 1.2 files. And then once you've done that, all you need to do is upload the files from my GitHub over the top of your existing ones. We're in the wrong server here. We're in Livonia. Let's go. So DayZ offline.chernarus. Here we go. And we want to, so all of the CFG files go in the main kind of mission folder here. You'll find them and upload them over the top. And then in the DB directory, or the DB folder, this is where you'll find the events, the types, the globals, the messages. They all go in here. And once they're uploaded, just restart that server and things will start to spawn in. Now remember, if the server's already been running for a while, stuff that is damaged and vehicles that are incomplete will have already spawned in, so it's going to take a while for those to be replaced, especially if your server is fairly quiet with not many people on it. Because what happens whenever a server is empty, it goes to sleep and nothing changes. Busier servers, which are on all the time because people are logged into them, they actually churn the loot quicker. But don't expect don't be disappointed when you spawn in and then you find a gun that doesn't have a magazine on it. Keep looking and you'll find one that will. Now, as I say, I do my best to make sure these haven't got any errors in, but I can't guarantee they don't. So if you do find some errors, please let me know. And again, a final warning as well is when you're seeing this video, probably might be before DayZ update 1.20 has gone live. So don't use them before that unless you're running a local experimental server on your local PC, and then obviously you can get them to work, because things like the masks, they just don't exist on DayZ 1.19, so it won't recognize them. So if you use these files, or if you found the video useful, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe. And actually, I'd like to emphasize that as well. If you do use these files, please let me know in the comment section, because I update these basically for my servers, my PvE servers. It's just nice to know that other people use them as well, even if you use them and edit them and make them a little bit different, just so I know that they're useful to other people. But anyway, that's enough from me. As I've said, if you've liked the video, hit like. If you want to see more of this, press subscribe, and I will of course see you again soon.